Hey, thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to go over what I have done to my 2002 Trans Am. If you've already watched my last video, you'll see that I raced and barely squeaked out a win against a Hellcat. If you haven't watched that, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description. I'm going to cover all the modifications that I've done to my car up to this point and how each of them affected my car in the 8th mile track. Unfortunately, that's the closest track we have to where I'm located. I hope this video provides feedback for those of you guys that are trying to modify your Fbody, kind of give you a little real life scenario of what I've done and what I would have done differently, as I probably could have saved some money and made my car a little bit faster or make it run a little bit better with the money I've spent on unnecessary modifications. Here's how my car performed in stock form minus an SLP air lid and the SLP Diablo Sport, along with the ported throttle body. Now the problem with these mods are they cost a lot of money, and I didn't feel like they did anything at the track. I did switch from the performance tune back to the stock tune, and I did not see any noticeable difference. It actually lost about half mile per hour in the 8th mile with the performance tune installed. So personally, I would not buy a tuner like that again. I would just get it professionally tuned by somebody that either does dyno tune or somebody that'll take it out on the street and tune it real time and get you a decent tune that's set up for your car specifically. After a few years of having the little bit of modifications that I had done to my car, just like anybody else, I wanted more. So I reached out and contacted one of the performance shops online and got some headers, Kooks long tube headers and Offroad Y. Shortly after I put those on, unfortunately, my flex plate went out. Due to the heat in the transmission area, the flex plate ended up cracking. So I took that as an opportunity to add a stall to my 4L60E. I got a Yank SS 3200 stall, and that happened to be the best modification for an 8th mile that I've ever had. I was a half mile quicker on the 8th mile with the stall and the headers that I installed, which is by far the greatest improvement that I could have expected, and I was extremely shocked and happy that I went with a stall converter with my 4L60E. The next step is to get a little crazy on the heads cam swap. I went online again and contacted the performance shop I've been dealing with before and asked them what they thought I should do. I told them my goals of 440 rear wheel horsepower and said, what combination do you guys recommend? Gave them X amount of budget, which was pretty high in my opinion. So they hooked me up with all kinds of parts, the heads cam, you got new rockers, you got push rods, basically all the Valvetrain supporting mods to support a head cam swap in an LS1. Initially, I planned on installing everything myself. However, I live on a gravel road, and as a do-it-yourselfer, I have to read a lot of forums and make sure everything's good to go, read all the instructions. I did not want my motor torn apart for that long on a dirt road. I have to take some time off work. Financially, it didn't make sense for me to try and attempt this by myself, so I decided to contact the guys at D&D Custom. They deal with a lot of late model GM products and are pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the LS motor, and I was very comfortable with dropping my car off with them.
I'll make sure that's in the video.
After I had my heads and cam package installed by D&D, I went to the Multitrack no prep track and I increased by about 4 miles per hour. That's with having let off some pressure track. The track was no prep because it was a Blaine County cruise. It wasn't actual normal drag weekend. But on my way home from the Blaine County cruise is when I ran into the problem of my rocker coming off to the side. Now, that's not necessarily the fault of the installer. With me initially wanting to do the install myself, I went online, asked for advice. What should I get? What parts will complement other parts? And because of that, I thought I was getting a good all-around package. Got with the cam that I got. I will list the specs here in a second. It was pretty high lift cam and it was bigger than what I'd normally been researching. I should have asked a few more questions before pulling the trigger and ordering it, and talked about the lobe separation angle to get a little more of the aggressive idle that I wanted out of it. But it is what it is. I got the cam, it was installed, and I ran it on the dyno. Did not provide the numbers that I was hoping for. However, I also live in Montana, and where the dyno is, it's about 3,000 feet, and it's a Mustang dyno, so it's not the dyno jet. It's not very generous. It's a heartbreak dyno. So the dyno, I mean, as much as it did kill me to not reach that 400 number after dropping a ton of money on this build, I saw the results at the drag strip, and I've seen the results since. As you can see, I beat the Hellcat. So as of right now, that's the update on the Trans Am. Kind of where it's at. We loaded it back up on the trailer thanks to Kyle. You guys saw him in the beginning of the video. He's got a pretty sweet 4.8 turbo build going on that Griff just got done with. So he was going to pick up his car, or his truck. So he loaded up my car and took it over to Polson for me. D&D Customs, if I haven't told you guys already, is in Polson, Montana. It's about 330 miles for us to get there one way. So it's a pretty long trek, so I really do appreciate Kyle for helping me out and taking my car over there. Otherwise I'd have to take, a day or two off of work, and it's a long drive. So the update on the Trans Am, I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, that way you can see more. I'm gonna give you guys an update once we get it back from D&D Customs. I'll be taking it back to the track, see how it's running. Hopefully I can get a new set of tires by then. I'm not really sure. We'll see if it's in the budget. I'm spending quite a bit of money on this build so far, but I do appreciate you guys watching again. Like, subscribe. If you guys didn't like it, go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what you didn't like. Yeah, if you have any more questions on what's going on with it or what happened to it, please feel free to message me